What's up? I'm Elsa Ray. This is my Paranormal Activity Challenge 2 video for the 2015 NYX Face Awards. I'm a definite underdog in this competition, and if you like this look and want to see me go on to the top 12, vote for me. 3 votes per day. Voting link is in the description below. And now let's get on to the tutorial. I'm going to start this look by mixing some white cream face paint and some NYX Invincible Fullest Coverage Foundation to give me a super pale base. I cover my face and neck, leaving a spot on my neck for the jaw to come later. Then with some finishing powder, I quickly set the whole thing. Next I'm applying some NYX Hot Black Eyeshadow over top of a black eyeshadow base and blend it out a little bit. And I'll come back to the eyeballs again later once my contacts are in. I fill in my eyebrows with my NYX Mousse Liner in black. And then with this light gray eyeshadow, I contour my face. Press that right into my cheekbones and my temple area. And that's it for the face for now. Now I'm moving on to the spiderwebs with some NYX Matte Liquid Liner in white. After some intense 30-second spiderweb research, I found that most spiderwebs seem to start from one center point with these straight lines called radials and are then fortified by circular threads. These little ones here in the middle are actually not sticky on a real spiderweb. This allows for the spider to move while it makes the sticky part of the web, or at least that's what Wikipedia says. Something else I learned is that no two spiderwebs are the same. They all have their own intricacies and flaws. It actually looks better with imperfections, so I add a bunch of those on purpose and also some on accident. I'm pretending there's a light source coming from above and to the right, and I'm taking that light gray eyeshadow from earlier and shading to the left and lower sides of each of the spider strands. And that's the first spiderweb. With some white water-activated face paint, I begin outlining the open mouth and creating the teeth. This whole process is a trial and error type of deal, so I'm going to give you the basics of what I did, and then you can practice for yourself and see what works for you. I'm going to be using some red and brown face paint, and some black face paint for the rest of the mouth section. I start with the gums, going a little bit between each tooth. I shade the teeth a little bit with some eyeshadow, and then lightly outline each tooth with a super fine stroke of black. You don't want it to be too thick, or it won't look realistic. I add a tongue with some red and fill in the mouth with black using a paintbrush to make sure everything is straight from my neck to my chin. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I use some eyeshadow to contour things like the lips, the shape of the chin, the tongue, and I lightly shade between each tooth up onto the lip area to make the teeth look like they go way down into the gums. I shade and I highlight. And finally, I come up with this. Next comes the spider using some brown and black NYX eye pencils. This is the image of the spider I mimicked. I had never painted or drawn a spider before this, so I needed a reference. I outline the body with a brown pencil and blend it out, keeping the center of the body and the head with the least amount of color. I add some spots and dark details using the black pencil and a little bit of concealer to highlight, and then I go on to the legs. A spider is actually not an insect, but an arachnid, and arachnids have 8 legs, each leg having 2 joints. With the concealer, I add some details to the legs and to the butt, and then begin shading using some gray eyeshadow, constantly referring back to the spider image. Using NYX's matte liquid liner in black, I add some super duper fine lines onto the edges of the legs. Enough so that the legs are clearly separated from my skin color, but not so much that you can see a bold line. The last step of the spider is the fur. I use a fine artist brush and some really watered down brown face paint for this so that the hairs are as natural looking as possible. I created another large spider web on my shoulder and chest, the same as I did before, so I won't put you through that process again. I curl my real lashes to prep them for some fake lashes and some mascara in Badunkadunk. Badunkadunk first and lashes second. I did it! Then I throw my contacts in after about 15 minutes of trying and blend some black eyeshadow onto my lower lash line. With NYX HD Blush in Crimson, I lightly blend out the edges of the black, and And that is the final look. I worked very long and very hard on this look, and if you really dig it, vote for me every day, 3 times a day. Do it. Ow.